Good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends on where you are. How you doing? I trust you're healthy, that you're safe, and you are well. My name is Sophie Elizabeth Lambert. I'm a published author of 3 books titled Hope Deferred, Rise Up, Mentoring Boys to Become Men of Integrity, and a guide to effectively mentor boys to become men of integrity. I've been doing a series on mentoring boys to become men of integrity, and we are in the 3rd season. Today's discussion is on boundaries. Yes, boundaries are necessary in every area of life. Boundaries keep us safe, they provide clear indications and expectations that are needed to foster healthy relationships. But what is a boundary? It is something that establishes a limit or border. According to Psych Central, boundaries create physical and emotional space between you and others. They show people how you want to be treated, what's okay with you and what's not. Boundaries, without boundaries, you may feel suffocated, unable to express your true feelings and needs. Boundaries protect you from being mistreated or taken advantage of because they communicate your needs and expectations. As we relate with each other in relationships, we will become aware as to what demarcations are needed. I believe that it is critical for parents, guardians, and mentors to teach boys and young men the importance of valuing all boundaries, be it physical, sexual, spatial, time, emotional, or mental, digital, spiritual, or religious, and non negotiable boundaries. We need to teach children early about healthy boundaries so that they can learn to protect themselves and respect and appreciate another person's boundaries. Not only does it protect the other person when they honor someone's boundary, but it protects them from getting into trouble. I remember one day I observed a young man touching a young lady inappropriately. She kept pushing his hand away, but he kept repeating his behavior. So I intervened by encouraging him to be respectful of the boundaries she had set when she told him that he should not touch her. I told him that if he does not train himself to respect other people's boundaries, he will be setting himself up for trouble with the law. He may touch someone who will report him to the police for sexual harassment, and that will negatively impact his life. Not only should they be taught to honor someone's personal space, but also other people's property. Going onto someone's property to pick plum without their permission can be considered stealing, or going onto someone's property for other reasons without permission can be interpreted as being suspicious. Therefore, it is best to ask before entering. It is important to teach boys at an early age to say no and to respect another person's no. It is necessary for them to learn to say no when their boundaries are being violated. Here are some suggestions by Dr. James J. Christ on ways to talk with your teen about respecting other people's boundaries. He advised that you ask for their opinions first rather than tell them what you think they should do. It makes it more likely that your discussion will be mutually respected and productive. Ask your teen what his or her thoughts are on respecting others' boundaries. For example, how do you know if someone is comfortable with a hug or kiss? Would you consider asking first, or would that feel awkward? Help teens to think through possible consequences of their actions. For example, what do you think might happen if you start becoming physically intimate with someone without making sure she is comfortable with it? Or how will you feel the next day if you go along with something you really don't want? Explore different ways of setting limits or boundaries with others. Remember to ask a question. How do you think you would handle it if you were out with someone and you felt uncomfortable? with what that person was doing with you or trying to do, how easy is it for you to say no? Would you worry about hurting the person's feelings? He suggested that watching movies or TV shows with your teen is another way to broach the subject. When relationship issues come up, ask your teen, what did you think of how that character handled the situation? What might you have done? Offer to role play situations that might come up at parties or on a date. This may be especially helpful for children who are shy and may have trouble asserting themselves or setting limits with others. Also, he suggested it is important for your sons to know the laws of consent. Ensure your teen is aware of the age of consent as well. This typically ranges from age 16 to 18 and varies from country to country, or if you're in the US, from state to state. Trouble is more likely when there is an age difference. In most places, for example, if an 18-year-old has sexual contact with a 16-year-old, that constitutes statutory rape, even when both parties consent to the act. The greater the age difference, the more hurtful it will be for the younger party. It's also riskier from a legal perspective. Being charged can lead to being convicted as a sex offender with potential jail time and negative implications for future job prospects. Teens typically don't think that far ahead. Help your child or mentee to think of these issues as ongoing discussions with your teen by letting your teen know that it's always okay to come to you for help or advice. That will help to strengthen your bond and improve the chances that he or she will grow up happy, healthy, and safe. Those are a few suggestions by Dr. Christ. Very good suggestions, I might say. To further help your teen to trust, teach them to trust their intuition. If they do not feel comfortable in a particular situation and there is some level of discomfort, it is usually an accurate warning. Trust their gut. It is essential to encourage your teen to set digital boundaries. The digital space is such a fickle and fragile environment. The boundaries vary from platform to platform and individuals to individuals. There are things that may be considered okay because many people are involved. For example, cyberbullying. It may seem that there are no laws to break because of the fluidity of the space, but there are therefore many laws that they can break. So they need to exercise wisdom. Educate your mentee that boundaries are to be set so that they can stay safe on that space. They should also adhere to their values, as well as the values of others on all social media platforms, regardless of what others are doing. Teach them to show respect to others on the space they are visiting. Finally, train your mentee to apologize if they have violated someone's boundaries. We all have made mistakes and we will all make mistakes. Therefore, if they have overstepped someone's boundaries, they should express regret, ask for forgiveness, and avoid repeating the error. Let us help our nation's young men to make wise decisions, establish boundaries, and respect another person's boundary. Thank you for watching. Remember, let us change future history today. Mentor a boy. As well as we say in Jamaica, encouragement sweetens labor. So please like and share and purchase some of my books. They're on Amazon.com and Kobo.com. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. Many blessings to you.